And welcome back. We are right where we left off. Just went through the Somnodrome and talked to Hermie. I'm now more on the fence with him again. I'm not sure whether I fully trust him or not. Is this showing me that they get the energy from destroying things? You can destroy something in one spot and put it back in another. Well, let's see. Labor Project 12. Trial 7001 to 8629. Not synthesis, but creation. That's huge. Because synthesis is combining things to create something else, but creation is just making it appear out of nothing, I guess. Or transmutation, maybe? Trials 8630 to 11277. Cornelius would be so excited. 112,078. 11,278 to 40,879. Tests confirm underlying patterns. Auxiliary sites shut down. Alright, from Benaroya. Dear Athena, you asked me about the persistent strain of misanthropy in human culture. It's a complicated topic that has come up multiple times in my research. Here's my best attempt at a short, cohesive answer. I think our ancestors, like ourselves, were deeply invested in the idea of building, of transforming their environment. They found meaning and pleasure in this, and did not perceive it as a negative, so long as they had a sense of participating in this act. I think the reason that they so frequently reached for a romantic return to the past, to fantasies of living self-sufficiently in rural environments, was not because they rejected industrial-scale activity per se, but because the return to the land provided a fantasy of returning to a form of participation that had been lost. They needed and wanted to build, create, and produce, but only if they felt they had a stake in what they were producing. Without that, the products of civilization began to seem like an alien force gradually spreading out across the world and ruining it. They needed a dream, and if the future was barred to them, then by necessity they must dream of the past. I hope you and Cornelius are well. Will you be coming to Hypatia's new exhibition? I know you have much on your mind, but you're missing out on a lot of exciting new cultural developments. Who could have thought in those early days that one day there would be so many of us that the arts would start to flourish again? Much love, Benaroya. Athena. I went back and found this message after all these years because something about it had lodged in my mind. I wasn't ready to understand it back then because I needed to be a leader, but maybe that was the problem. It should have been our dream, not mine alone. Atlas 2, from the Atlas Variations by Athanasios. For a billion years, Atlas had borne the weight of the world on his back. The old Titan was tired of the responsibility and tired of his labor of ages not being appreciated. Why did the mortals not understand that his work was the foundation of all they did? Finally, he'd had enough. With one swift move, he shrugged off the cosmos. Now they'd see. But the cosmos went on rolling through infinity, leaving Atlas behind. The mortals went about their business, hardly noticing his absence. He was astonished. Had the world never needed him in the first place? Had all his toil been for nothing? So he turned his back on all mortal matters and instead set himself to discovering the secrets of eternity. Only after many long years had passed did the cosmos, in its endless cycles, pass by through his domain once more, and only then did Atlas and the mortals realize that they had missed each other, and each was lesser without the other. And so Atlas no longer carried the cosmos, instead he embraced it. That is a variation on that. I kind of like that variation, to be honest. Okay. Hi, Linux.
One key. What did you see inside the Somnodrome?
I went to sleep mode and spoke to something.
Fascinating. What did it tell you?
To trust my moral compiler.
I'm not sure I understand, but the subconscious is hardly my expertise. That the Samnodrome worked at all is already remarkable. What matters now is that we download the data packet from your memory and share it as widely as possible. It may upset some people, but everyone has the right to form their own opinions.
They do. I want to say that, but I also want to ask a question first.
That's a risk we have to take. For all we know, New Jerusalem is already doomed. We can't predict how our actions will change the future. You have to trust in your belief that more knowledge is better than less. The best survival strategy we have is understanding the world we live in.
You're right.
Good. There's one more thing. Do you have an opinion on the meaning of your experience in the Samnodrome?
Yeah, I believe it.
It would be good if you kept that opinion to yourself. The scientific method demands rigorous objectivity. For this data to have any value at all, it's essential we examine it without preconceived notions of what it means. Cryer is setting up a live event so you can formally address the people on this matter. When you're ready, we'll all be watching.
Okay. So we got important stuff coming up. Hi, Cryer.
1K. The people want to know what data you gathered from the Somnodrome. We're all set up for you to talk to them live.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get this over with.
Attention, citizens of New Jerusalem. I'm here with 1K, the first of our kind to use a functioning Somnodrome. Tell us, 1K, what did you see inside?
I saw a manifestation of a conceptual system.
Well, I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say you're handling it with remarkable cool. But let's not keep people in suspense. The only evidence of what happened inside that machine is the data stored in your memory banks. Our audience wants to know, what did you learn? And will you share that data?
Everyone. Yep, that's the only answer I agree with.
I'm seeing this at the same time you are at home. Something about our moral compiler. The value of compassion and understanding. I don't know what to make of this. 1K, any comment?
People should draw their own conclusions.
1K is right. When our ancestors discovered conductance, they didn't freeze for fear of electrocution. They imagined electronic life and created us. We will approach this data and any other discoveries with that same spirit of curiosity and objectivity.
There you have it, folks. A lot here to digest. We'll have further updates on the situation as it develops.
I mean, I was always going to share it with everyone, to be honest. Because that's just what I believed in as well. And I'm not contrarian enough to just completely disregard that because Linux was the one that suggested it. And I'm not really trustful of her at the moment, but hey. Here's what it is. That's my moral compiler. Like, look at this view. This is just stunning. I've never wanted to have a fear of heights. Larger than it should be. What's the word? compulsion to jump? Sure. But no fear. Ascent. We got a red one, we got a blue one. Alright. Alright, I can't get both of these. I'm gonna do this first so I can come back at least. We got a hexagon. Now I can get both of them. I'm pretty sure doing this. Yeah. So I get that out. I'm gonna need that to get that. Now, does this work like this? Yep. Purple. I wonder. Aha! That shot it further. Now I could do that and I get both of these out. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty much as far as I can do that one. Yep. So I do want to move this more over here. But I can't. That's immediate, unfortunately. So I can do this. And then I can jump up here and do it this way. Aha. I was curious what that button did, but I should have just realized. It opens the gate to move the blue one further.
What would you say is your impression of the expedition so far?
I think Alcatraz has done a heck of a job under these very trying circumstances.
What about the decision to free Prometheus?
Freeing the Prometheus entity was a calculated risk. But if it leads us to Byron, it was certainly worth it. It is saving one of our citizens that must be our first priority. Not this alleged theory of everything.
Okay, we got 3 of you.
She's booting up. Almost there.
Hello. I was in a dream, and a voice spoke to me from the sky. He said you were old friends of his. Who are you?
My name is Athena. I am your mother.
And I'm Cornelius, your father.
Thank you for creating me. I've not existed for very long, but so far it seems wonderful. I hope it's not a strange question. But, who am I?
You can be whoever you want to be. And no matter what you choose, you will be loved and cherished and supported.
We will always be there for you. And I promise, we will show you a world full of miracles. Would you like to pick a name?
I think I would like to be called Miranda.
Not gonna lie, teared up a little bit at that. Witnessing her birth. Oh, hearing her birth, I should say. Oh, okay, so I can do it from here. Obviously, this is how I do that. That gives me you, but I can do you first. Yes, like that. Oop. I could probably move this a bit. Yeah, that does too, so I can do that. Then I can do this to this to grab you. Do that to that. Yoink.
I admire your persistence, 1K.
Ah yes, because I'm doing ones I don't need to now. What else we got? Melville, the system is full of fragments related to space. I've noticed that the Noma system is full of ideas for space travel and colonization. Designs for launch pads and ships, sketches of cities, even an unfinished design for large-scale teleportation between distant planets. An interstellar or even intergalactic civilization of the kind writers like Ian Banks imagined is entirely possible if we want it. Which leads me to another thought. These bodies we have are so carefully designed to look like our ancestors, but they don't really have to be. In his novels, Banks has intelligent minds like ourselves controlling entire ships, or drones, or even stations. If Alexandra Drennan was right, then it's not our shapes that make us human, and what it means to be human can be expanded if we can maintain our creativity and our curiosity. With the theory of everything, we could transform ourselves as well as the world. The only question is, can we be trusted to build a society that actually works, just for once in our long and stupidly bloody history? Is something like the culture actually possible, or is it just a daydream and will we? I think it's supposed to be one or the other. I think it's and we'll always end up with another dystopia. Maybe Athena finally found the answer to that question. It is funny how there's still a decent amount of mistakes in the writing. Because will we does not make sense. What is up here? And what is the deal with that? This is obviously just going up to this, but I think there's also another terminal up here. Maybe I'll find a tunneler all the way up the top as well. Oh. Is this... No, this is another triangle. I thought I'd done them already. Slide. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I can get into here. That box is obviously got to be used to get this out. This does that, which I assume is for this. So if we do that, that lifts it up. You climb over. You move it here. Gives me that. You put it there. We can do this. Is this actually meant for here? Because I can do this and get out now. Could I do it on this side? Yes. Then with that powering that, I can do this. That was nearly bad. Because I don't need you anymore. I think what I need to do is get this here and get this in the middle. So I obviously need to get it out somehow. Oh, I can get one of these in here actually. I can get you in here. I can grab you out for now. So I'll use you on this. And use you to hold that on there. Yep. And that'll be used as a thing for that. Grab you, do that. What else can I possibly do with this? It says slide, so now I've got to get this out of here somehow. So that doesn't work. Is it just if I make it bigger? Because I could do this. That makes it taller. No, tall doesn't really matter, does it? Pardon-moi. If I can take the fan off. Why would I be able to take the fan off? So I definitely needed to go there, so we need to get that out. To get that out, I know I need to have it be pushed by this. And to start that, I need this. Okay. Yep. Let's do that. That's that. That's that. I do that. It's just gonna be blocked like that. So it's like I need to get that in here. Now I've got that, can I just take this off? Is that the big deal? I think I've got to set it up so that all I need to do is have it shoot this. I need to put it like here. Oh my god. My brain is melting. So I can get out. Actually, I can get out without that being on. So that might be what I'm messing up here. If I do that. Chuck that. Chuck that. Chuck that. And I stand here. Yep. I was way overcomplicating it. That's normal. Alright. I am still not sure about that tunneler to be used on that random metal wall. And I probably will not leave this area until I figure it out. But for now, like how do I get that? I think I'm gonna have to try and jump off the top here. First, we have this. What's the time? Half an hour in. Okay. The New Theology by George Bernard Shaw. When you are asked, where is God? Who is God? Stand up and say, I am God and here is God, not as yet completed, but still advancing towards completion, just in so much as I am working for the purpose of the universe, working for the good of the whole of society and the whole of the world, instead of merely looking after my personal ends. In that way we get rid of the old contradiction. We begin to perceive that the evil of the world is a thing that will finally be evolved out of the world, that it was not brought into the world by malice and cruelty, but by an entirely benevolent designer that had not as yet discovered how to carry out its benevolent intention. In that way, I think we may turn towards the future with greater hope. Cornelius. My brother Eustathius told me that he thought this passage was beautiful, but also diminished the connection to the sublime he felt when simply looking at the world itself. What do you think? Miranda. I agree with Shaw's sentiment, but I don't know if the miracle of existence, the beauty of creation, is exactly the same as the human sublime. If that makes sense. I don't want to look at the universe and see myself reflected, even a future me. Okay, another attempt at explaining. The beauty of the universe and the beauty of what we can accomplish within it are two related but separate things, and the separation matters. Sorry, I'm not sure how to express this any better. Founding 12, day 1012. I am now cohabitating with Sarabai. This is by choice, not necessity. It's strange but pleasant to find your life so enmeshed with that of another person. What we both came to realize is that together we are more than the sum of our parts. Something emerges from our interactions that is wholly transcendent, unique, and necessary. I had observed this before between Athena and Cornelius, but experience it yourself is quite the revelation. Athena, we did have that, and it was beautiful. I should have treasured it more. And Trev.
Actually, let me issue a correction, okay? I said Alexandra doesn't see the bad stuff about humanity. But she does. She sees it, and somehow she sees past it. She doesn't ignore it. She can just see one step farther. Like, there's this mountain of garbage ahead of us, right? And that's all most of us will ever see. And she somehow sees beyond to, I don't know, the promised land? I don't do metaphors, or similes, or whatever this is. I mean, you don't care. I'm dead, and you're a robot. But her ability to to look reality in the eye, to see all the bad stuff out there and still have hope. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I think that's why that's, yeah, you know what? Let's not go there. There's still so much work, and Chernyshevsky doesn't have much time left. Well, I mean, who does these days?
Okay, well, I just contradicted the full distance kills you thing, so that's curious. I'm trying to figure out A, how to get that flame, and B, where to use the tunneler to get into that random spot I saw down there. Part of me now thinks that it's from the golden place. But I'm not sure. Hey, that just lead back down? Yeah, I'm not sure at all about either of those two things. Well, I'm going back down this way. I'm going to see where exactly it leads me to. Still have that to figure out, which I might have to look up, because so far I have no clue as to where to even begin looking for it. Music is also a bit more epic here. That's the way we ran to get to the whatchamacallit? Flame. This says easy back down. So maybe I'll run on this. No, it says lazy through 4 through 7. Apparently. But I don't remember running this way. Did I? Because there's 7. That's just up to Prometheus. That's the metal. I'm fairly sure. But there is no tunneler in here. But that seems to be the only place to use a tunneler to reach this would be. Besides up there. There's an activator here. Can I see a light in 7? But no. I think I need to get the activator out. But how would I go about that? Obviously I can't, I'm not supposed to be able to parkour my way into there. But I might be able to do it anyway because I am stubborn. Like, this will trap me in here. there, 8 is down. That is the gold. It almost has to be the gold. But why? Well, time to reset. This was 7. 7 gives me nothing to get to that. What about... What about this one? 6. If I leave the blue light up, does that give me enough space to do something else with it? Was it in this one? No. It must have been in the other triangle. Maybe. I'm gonna go up here and see. Nearly ran off the edge there. Let us go. The triangle is it up or was it just on the other side of this? If it's just on the other side of this, then it's not going to be tall enough. Yeah, no, it's even covered in there. That's even worse. This may be one I do have to look up as well. Like, this being up does seem like it would do something. So I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. And I could do this. Now that's tall as all heck. Heck. I can see it from there, but it would disappear quite quickly. So no, that's got nothing to do with it, I'm pretty sure. There's still going to be a way for me to like parkour up to here. Because I've got to be able to get that flame that's sitting over here. Is there a hidden fan somewhere? And that's what I'm supposed to do instead of jumping up. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me either. Down there. Yep. Okay. Already been up there. Let's just stay down here for a bit. I haven't been here. We got another Stratton over there. Well, let's go get that Stratton and then I'll just go to the 8th puzzle.
I see these beings, these children of a future age, wandering around an island more fantastical than Atlantis itself, looking desperately to find themselves. I reach out to them, but they cannot see me. I speak to them, but I do not know if they can hear me. Am I being punished? Are the gods playing some cruel trick on me? Why can I remember so little? What is this sorrowful voice I hear, whispering such terrible thoughts? I must use what remains of my mind. I must understand.
Do that. Do this. Yep. You need to be further. Okay. Yep. Oh, but then you can't be controlling yourself from there. That might work though, because that'll shoot the cube out, and then I'll have a cube. Then I can have it power itself. Yep. Oh, and then I can take this. Did over here. So that was actually easier than the last one. But now I'm still stuck on how to do that Pandora's box. Time. Well, I might do the tower and end the episode and then look up how to do the Pandora's box here in between. Because at this rate I don't know where to start, and I'm also confused because of the metal wall that I need to get an activator from. So first let's just do this, because that should only take about 10 minutes to take us to what we need to go to. you reckon it's Pandora first or Prometheus? My money's on Pandora. Thank you, Prometheus. No, I was right the first time.
A long time ago, the Sphinx asked you about my story. You said that hope may still be found if we are willing to look for it. And you were right. Hope is not gone from the world. Some small part of it still survives. But it is not in the flame or in these towers. It lives in the hills and the forests, in the rivers and the seas. You were given a world full of hope, creature of clay. It is yours to protect.
Hopes in people.
People will fail you, creature of clay. When the time comes, they will abandon you. Heed my words.
But it doesn't mean that we should not have hope. Good giant laser. Okay. Let's head down, listen to the next conversation.
What do you make of these beings? Do they keep you safe?
Nothing is really safe. You could kill yourself with a fork, and I'm sure someone has. But anything can be used safely if you choose to.
I see.
I have no idea if those achievements actually pop up in the recording. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. In the next episode, I will have figured out the answer to my Pandora's riddle. And then we shall go into the final western area. And then, yeah, from there, we'll be close to the end of the game. So I'll catch you then. Ciao.